What's up, friends on Patreon? It's your boy Dustin Ross here, and I'm back with another episode of Goddamn Warning Signs. Now, as you all know, this show started off as one thing, and now it's just a great conversation that we are lucky and blessed to be able to have with each other here in the confines of the safe space that is our Patreon home. So welcome once again to Warning Signs. Now, this week, let's just talk about ego. Right? I'm looking at some of the things that are going on in the media and some of the latest news stories that are dominating the news cycle right now. And the recurring theme that I see, that I continue to see, is ego. And ego getting in the way of people's better sense, better judgment, better decision making, all that shit. And people just ending up in the wildest case scenarios ever based on ego. Let's talk about Nene Leakes. Now, everybody knows who Nene Leakes is. Bravo celebrity, who went on to see, heights of fame, went on to work in scripted television as an actress, went on to work on Broadway twice as an actor. Just really saw heights of success that were previously, unknown for people within the space she occupied as a housewife on Bravo, as that sort of talent. And we were happy for Nene. We watched that story take place. We watched it grow. We watched, how all the shit went down, and somehow she just spiraled out of control. Now she's at the point where she has, finally, after several false starts, she's actually filed a lawsuit against Bravo, NBC Universal, which is the parent company of Bravo, Truly Entertainment, or Truly Original Entertainment, which is a production company that produced The Real Housewives of Atlanta, the show she starred on for many, many seasons, and also Andy Cohen specifically. She filed a complaint, a lawsuit. It's either 87 or 97 pages. I can't remember, but it's up there. It's a large formal complaint and lawsuit. In it, she identifies things that, in her experience, were indicative of some sort of racial discrimination or bias on behalf of Bravo. As a black man that lives in America and lives in the world in general, I have experienced racism on several different levels. So I believe most people, when they say that is something they've experienced, I've very rarely seen people say that was something that was going on and use it for the sake of their own benefit. It's a very sensitive subject for us as black people. It's a very storied subject. It's something that has a lot of layers to it, and it's not something that should be taken lightly and used for our own justification of whatever type of behavior or circumstance we are trying to justify. So I want to believe Nene. When Nene says that she experienced these situations, this bias, this racial bias against her from Bravo and NBC Universal and all these things, I want to believe her. I love Nene as a television personality, as an actress. She has entertained me for many, many years, and I want nothing but the best for her. Nene's story is really inconsistent. That makes it hard for people to take what she's saying at face value and seriously. Nene's story has changed so many damn times. She has said that, Andy Cohen was a racist cokehead and all these other things, and then going on just less than 6 months ago, she was on The Real, being interviewed, and she was asked about going back to join the cast of The Real Housewives of Atlanta again. She said she would love to, and she loved Andy, and they used to be really close, and she paid for his baby shower for Benny Boo, talking about his son, using a loving nickname like Benny Boo, and saying how they just need to have a conversation, and she would love to go back because she had unfinished business with the ladies. Very casually and lovingly referring to a situation and a person who she has now identified as stress-inducing, hostile work environment, supporting, racist, drug addict and that's just Andy Cohen. She also identifies in this complaint that, Candy got to do Big Brother, but Nene couldn't go do other stuff, which I'm not really sure how that works, because I know that it's all about scheduling when it comes to having opportunities in entertainment and being able to wear multiple hats. You have to schedule strategically to be able to support, your contribution to each project. You have to allot enough time for you to substantially contribute and have an impact on whatever project you're a part of. So That's how people do that. They schedule it. You talk to the powers that be that you need to, who you should be in a good enough relationship with for them to be open to and willing to, move things around to make this happen for you. That all comes from having a good relationship with people. And I just found it odd that she named opportunities that existed for other Black talent within a network. She named other Black talent being given multiple opportunities, and one after another to thrive or to grow and exist. And she's calling the same network racist and saying that, they weren't giving the Black talent opportunities. But then in your suit, you say that this other Black talent, i.e. Candy Burris, got to do other things, but you didn't get to do it. So unfortunately, it's just a situation where it's hard to kind of rally behind her even though what am I going to do, right? When I say rally behind her, I mean with our opinion or our perspective on this. It's hard to kind of say and understand fully her perspective when there are inconsistencies, like her saying that Kim Zolciak called her all kind of niggers and, made horrible racist references the entire time they were working together and was supported in all these ways. And just less than 6 months ago, you were hugging her on stage for a photo op and walking hand in hand, literally holding hands while Count on Me, okay, by Whitney Houston and CeCe Winans ass was playing in the background. The same person who you have identified as this villainous, incessantly racist person. It just looks bad, Nene. It looks very bad, and I hope it works out for you. But ego. Benzino, another person. Y'all know who Benzino is. I ain't going into all that. But Benzino is going through a situation right now where people are associating him with being trans attracted. And he is taking that potential association and making declarations publicly that he will kill transgender women over someone thinking that he is trans attracted. He is saying the worst, most regressive in thought things that you can say about gay and straight relations and just the harmony that should exist amongst people, regardless of their sexual orientation or preference. And he is really dropping down a hard line. He's really dropping down a hard line in between these groups of people and saying horrible things that really are criminal. And why? Because his fat, no neck having ass ego is bruised. Because his McDonald's biscuit built motherfucking ass ego is bruised. That's why. Because he thinks that other people are gonna think that he's attracted to trans women. And the thought of that, because there's evidence that supports that thought. Okay, concrete, hard evidence that supports that thought. And he is willing to die on the hill of protecting his quote unquote manhood by acting a damn fool, which I don't know what he thinks that's what kind of protection that creates for his manhood. But okay, Raymond. And just saying the worst things ever. And I'm not even going to go into detail about how his matzo ball looking ass has said the worst, most hateful things that are really a serious problem and contributing to senseless deaths amongst Black trans women and trans women in general, right? We're not even going to go into the layers we're not even going to really think our way through this. Let's just look at it for what it's worth, which is a nigga who is in their feelings because some information that is compromising for them has gotten exposed because of their own actions, okay? And now you are saying that you literally gonna kill this woman because your name is associated with her in the press. That's ego. That's a dangerous ego, and it just shows the power of, in addition to when Benzino when we're talking about Benzino, in addition to the nasty and horrible things he said about his daughter and her recent rise to success in music, his ego has just been ever present as the issue with him. Maybe if I didn't have a neck, maybe if I was built like a defolded dinner napkin, maybe I'd feel the same way. But just from the outside looking in, you watch these people fumble these great opportunities in life and put themselves in jeopardy of lots of harm because their ego is so damn big. That's the takeaway, y'all. Check our egos, because it's them today, it could be us tomorrow in a different way. Let's just check our egos, y'all, and really try our best not to look stupid and foolish like suitcase Pullman built ass Benzino and Nene, who broke our hearts because we really wanted to see her be successful, and she's allowed herself to just spiral out of control into a literal mess. Think about that. And I'll see y'all next time for another episode of motherfucking Warning Signs. Ooh, ooh. I don't know where that jingle came from, but it worked. See y'all next time on Warning Signs. I love y'all, Patreon.